Welcome back to Sheep's Mod.
Two kinds of people, sheep and sharks. Anyone who's a sheep is fired.
It took me 2 weeks to recover from my humiliating stream of this. I cannot allow this game to defeat me, so we are back on Germany. Iron Man mode. We'll leave it on normal. No easy difficulty, just normal. Multiplayer looks weird and randomized. I don't do randomized, so historical, normal, Iron Man mode as Germany. This time we're gonna try and actually win this and not lose our minds. For those of you who are uncertain what this is perhaps the most difficult AI mod out there. This is what it's like to play Hearts of Iron against an AI that knows what it's doing. So let's go. All right, first of all, a bunch of questions and options. The AI should just try their best. Soviet infantry can be mass assault. Just the default options, basically. Large infantry balanced. Balance seems fine. This one, friendly AI capabilities. I could make my allies dumber. I don't want a bunch of Italy's on my team. Strengthen friendly AI logic, and then slightly enhance AI logic. So the only difference between these two, according to Sheep, is that the middle one, strengthened logic, will actually give you some notifications. It doesn't actually change much. So I'm just gonna click that, and we are off to the races.
Yo, Methuselah, speed it up!
What makes this so difficult? Before we get into this, what makes this so difficult is the fact that the AI will play to the best of their abilities based on their focus trees. So they will do things like rush critical techs ahead of time using their focus tree bonuses. They will factionally civ boost, meaning they will intentionally trade with each other certain resources to get the amount of civs they have available for the build-up higher. They will even use licensed production to get that advanced equipment into the hands of their allies, who can then also make that advanced equipment. Dumb things, incredibly dumb things, like making the best tank they can ahead of time without a gun in it, and then once they research the gun they want, they will simply start retrofitting all the hulls they've already made using the convert from stockpile feature to then suddenly have access to a bunch of really advanced tanks. So the AI will play competently, and I have experienced this to my great shame. So today I too must play competently. Commanders, it's here, my official merch, and it's a masterpiece. Introducing the Type 7 submarine desk mat, brought to life by the artist Disc and the team at Epic Desk. Now this is not just a desk pad, it is a blueprint of history stretched across your entire setup. Look at it, the full technical layout of a German Type 7 U-boat, rendered in striking blueprint detail, my favorite blue, but you may also select black, torpedo specs, pressure hull dimensions, even the deck gun. Every detail is here. You've got armor labeled bitter steel, a nod to the community, and that bold B logo, that's how you know it's ours. Now crafted on Epic Desk's premium 4mm pad with a silky smooth surface, non-slip base, this mat is built for precision, whether you're diving into combat or just crunching through your spreadsheets. This is more than just a desk mat, it's my merch. It's your mission-ready battle station, and it's a limited run. Once these submerge, they will be gone forever. My gear at your command. What are you waiting for? As far as the Navy's concerned, as Germany, I don't think I'm gonna sea line. Allied fleet is way bigger than it is usually, so I'm just gonna finish the ships and then maybe retrofit a couple of my existing ships into a better design. And then once we've dealt with the Soviets, maybe we'll take a look at Navy if we live that long, because realistically the Allies are gonna throw everything in the kitchen sink at me by 1942, 1943, so we might not even make it. As far as construction's concerned, I'm gonna do some infrastructure there. Couple of civs in these two states, and after that we are basically on our mill greed arc. Not a lot of civ building this run. We're gonna need all the mills we can get. The military, let's see, we got 24 infantry and then an assortment of others. I want to have a total of 9 others, so we're going to take all 9 of these divisions, convert them into Panzerdivision. Don't worry, I know we don't have the equipment for these. It's fine. Trust me on that, it's fine. And then these 21 will simply split and split and split until we have 5 distinct armies. Navy, so we're gonna organize the Navy and exercise the Navy, get at least whatever we can do done, and then Air Force, such as it is, just gather it up and we'll get them exercising as well. I will, for the most part, follow my own focus guide that I did for the historical Germany run, so our timeline is still a historical war date. But I'm gonna have to pull some tricks here just to make this work. I think one of the main tricks, first of all, is like the tech shuffle. Essentially, you use one unused slot to store up 30 days of research. It has 30 days saved up into it. And then you take one technology you want to move up ahead of time. Let's take basic machine tools here. It's going to take 134 days to finish. Unless I take that, move over somewhere else. Something else I want to get. I want to get 1938 mediums. Let's get that using Henschel. The reason I take basic medium tanks is because they're way ahead of time and I only need to do a little bit of this. Now we're going to take the slot that has 30 days saved up into it and we're going to select industry. And now it only takes 105 days. So we've essentially added 30 days to this one research for the cost of basically having one less research slot. So you're focusing more research on certain technologies by ignoring other technologies for a little bit. As far as I know, you can only do that once per tech. So I can't do it twice to basic machine tools. You can only apply that extra 30 days once, but it does compound. If you're working your way down here, for instance, you can get these ahead of time reasonably quickly. Now, honestly, I don't want basic medium tanks yet. That's a little bit too early. I was gonna grab some interwar artillery first. Führerprinzip. Two things I could do. I could either get Hess, so he works his way down to rally the industrialists sooner. This is incredibly powerful for building up really strong MIOs and a lot of political power, but you don't need that much political power as Germany. So I'm thinking Reichsleiter Tod, so I can get use of his infrastructure construction speed and his civilian factory construction speed for a bit. He can give me his organization Tod early-ish, so I can get more bonuses from that. And the next one we pick is going to be Hess, so he can then rally the industrialist. We've got Reichsleiter Tod. I would go 4-year plan, but I'm trying to postpone the bonus to industry that gives me, so we're going to move up to developing modern maneuver warfare. Oh, Benito wants to join early. Welcome aboard. All right, Spain is doing the thing, which means we are going to send them volunteers along with air volunteers. The volunteers we'll send is this army of 9. Don't worry, it says 7 now. It will be 9 in a bit, so we'll take 2 of these divisions out, and then the other 7 we'll send over there already. So send volunteers, air volunteers 7. I haven't assigned a general yet because of the way this works. When they arrive, the general will be counting as being reassigned, so you don't have him for 2 weeks. So we might as well just assign him when we get there. We're also going to improve our relations so we can send an attaché. Attaché is really nice because it's army experience and we want it. I think they like me well enough to accept my attaché, and I can stop improving relations. Bada bing, bada boom. With my attaché there, I'll get the experience, which is great, but it also pushes up war support, meaning, hell yeah, war economy, the best economy. Now we'll save up to about 120, 150 political power, so we can take all of the autarky decisions at the same time. Anti-tank licensing. Oh, this just gives Italy a license production for our Towed anti-tank, because they don't have any of their own, and in exchange, we get a little bit of economic capacity surplus from that thing you get from the international market. These are like sheep mod specific things. You don't have to do these, but it just helps. So again, the thing with sheep mod is it has some small flavor adjustments, but most of this is about making the AI as good as it can be made, plus giving the player the tools he needs to cope with that AI. Stuff like licensing, stuff like having allies that actually do optimal research to get you equipment ahead of time. A bit like playing multiplayer without the hassle of playing multiplayer. Which brings us to our next ordeal. We are going to be grinding in this Spanish Civil War. What we're going to do is continuously fight divisions. We're going to look for very specific things. One, the terrain we're going to be fighting in should be stuff like hills, like forests, like urban. We would love to be fighting across river for the engineer traits. We want to be attacking from multiple angles to grind the trickster trait, and we're gonna want to be fighting using different division types to grind the cavalry and panzer leader traits. So why are we picking certain tiles? What we want is terrain that has the modifier unplanned offensive, so that we don't win. We don't want to win this war quickly. We simply want to use the war. Then we're going to do continuous attacks into combat, but we're going to be very specific about what kind of combat. We don't want combat that is ongoing with the AI. Because the longer a battle is going on, the less experience you get from that battle. It's like a sliding scale. The longer the battle is, the less experience you can get from it. So we want to be fighting our own battles that we can initiate, and we can also stop at will. So after 7 days of this battle going on, we stop the attack, let a couple of hours tick by, maybe a little more if you want organization again, and then restart it so we can always get a high amount of experience from these fights. And that way, well, that way we can at least get the required traits out of this. We're going to grind this until it's 99% done, and then we're going to change the templates of the units so that he'll be starting to grind on Panzer Leader, and we postpone getting the actual trait. Again, the experience scales based on how many traits he already has. If he has, not background traits, I don't think background here counts, but traits down here. If you have none, you get the full amount of experience. If you have one, it's scaled down. If you have two, it's scaled down even more. So what you want to do is get these traits to like 99% done, so you only need a handful of experience, and then stop getting experience and move on to the next one you want to grind. It's a bit finicky, it's super finicky, but it does mean you can have very powerful generals, very strong divisions. Why am I doing this? I never do this in single player. Well, I'm doing this now is because I know I'm gonna have to, because holy shit, this mod is gonna kick my ass if I don't. Officer Corps also pretty important, considering we're gonna be grinding specifically for some things. One thing I grab usually proper heritage, leader experience gain, important since we're trying to level up our leaders. Once they have the traits we want, we could switch to professional officer corps to maximize the division experience gain, which is also good, but you'll probably get enough of this, so we'll go with proper heritage for now. And then Spirit of the Academy, bold attack, so that we maximize our chances of the generals that we're grinding to have more attack. Attack is such a great stat because it works on the offensive, it works on the defensive, it is just great fun all around. Alright, so the next stage for trickery. Cavalry leader is at 99% for Von Bock, and for this guy it's 98%. It's close enough, I think. So I'm gonna stop Von Bock doing anything whatsoever, and I'm gonna leave this guy to do a little. Yeah, there we go. He's at 99% as well. So we're gonna halt all of these offensives. Now we're gonna go into our template design, and we're gonna take 2 horses out and put 2 light tanks in. Don't worry, we don't have the light tanks to fill this. It doesn't matter. But what this does, it keeps the same width, keeps a nice amount of manpower in the division. It's good for what we need it to do. But now it's classified as a panzer division, as an armor. You can tell by the changing icon here, this is now defaulted to a tank. This now counts as a tank division, meaning these guys will stop getting experience for cavalry leader, and they will start getting experience for panzer leader. And now I can move on to the next stage of this nonsense. The grind in Spain is ongoing. Von Bock is so close to getting panzer leader. I've stopped his fighting for a moment because I have a little trick here to extend this without getting more traits. But to do that, I need to get Von Weichs up to 99% Panzer Leader as well. So what I'm basically going to do is take this Panzer division here and change it. I'm going to change all the tanks over to infantry. This costs a lot less experience in this mod than it does in vanilla, so don't pay too much attention to it. Yes, this will be extremely inefficient in vanilla. And the reason I'm not simply making a duplicate and then converting the units is because that way you lose a lot of experience. This way, as long as the manpower lines up with what you had or is less than what you already had in a division, you preserve most of the manpower. I think if we do this, we can then turn the division into something that's labeled an infantry division. It's still shit, but it will buy us more time to grind traits, and it will make these divisions just that, you know, a little bit more experience because we're not losing any manpower in the template. All right, Fitz Tots questions. Yeah, we're gonna get rid of Tot once he hits his capstone because his capstone's not that valuable in long run, and we're going to switch him out for Reichsleiter Speer. Speer might not look all that much, but I prefer his capstone. More factory output, 10% more on dockyards and factories. There's also something to be said about Göring, but he's Göring. Of course, I'm not gonna pick Göring. No, Speer it will be. You know what? Let's strengthen China some more. And then I'll send the Japanese my volunteers and attaché. Yes, perfect. And then we can fight over that city tile, just as long as I avoid the hills, we'll be fine. All right, I can get my third guy for the inner circle mechanics. I could get Göring. He's got really good traits, but as a counterpoint, it's fucking Göring, and I'm not about that life. I don't want him anywhere near my government. So instead, I could get Goebbels, or I get Himmler. Himmler's probably the better choice with his non-core manpower, his spy buffs, and yeah, the spy buffs and then the non-core manpower plus the easier occupation. But then again, Goebbels gives me war support, which is not that big, but he gives me some extra stability. He gives me access to Linie Riefenstahl. I'm just gonna go with Goebbels. The extra stability he gives me, I think, is nice. And I'll just use Goebbels to get rid of Tot. We're not building any infrastructure, civilian factories, or railways right now, so replace him we shall. Yeah, the only thing I can think of is that because I switched these divisions around from basic infantry, the amount of fully equipped divisions dropped by so much that we no longer meet the requirements for Anschluss, which is exceedingly annoying because that is, oh, it's the first time I've done this and I've fucked myself. Yeah, that's gonna push Anschluss back and I really don't wanna. And with Spain over, we only have China now as a source of training. All right, sweet. Bulgaria wants in. And if I'm not mistaken, around now, there we go. They've got Mechanized 1. So I'm going to ask them if I can borrow the designs. Mechanized Equipment 1. Come on. There we go. And now I can start producing Mech 1 a little early. Don't know a trick for these to do the same thing we've did with the other equipment, but I'm pretty sure it's fine. We're gonna add 10, maybe 15 of these in our production queue. And after that, probably medium tanks. We're close to researching those. Yeah, 54 days. So not bad, not bad. Meanwhile, my guys in China are slowly getting experience, but it's not on the same level as the Spanish Civil War. And there goes Czechoslovakia. Bottom option, don't like it. I usually just set up Slovakia as a puppet state. I could share them with Hungary, but I don't feel like sharing. So we'll just set up Slovakia as a puppet state. And where do we go from here? I'm guessing this is a time where we look to get those fresh fighters I would like. So if you had to dive bombers, leads to combined arms. This gives us the frame we want. Yes. Ah, the Swiss want to help out. You know what? I could do with their consumer goods factory reduction and the construction speed. All right, with coal liquefaction, we can develop Ersatzmaterial. That should bring our, where is it? The MIFO builds back down. Ish. It's fine. Well, that was unexpected. War in China's over. Apparently Japan won. Huh. And we are now going to recall our volunteers. They're apparently stuck there, so we'll have to manually recall them. Molotov-Ribbentrop Pact is in. Danziger War in 70 days. So we're gonna be 70 days behind the time where we would have to hit this historically. I'd say that's fine. Moscow signs the pact. Huzzah. All right, there we go. Poland refuses. War it is. There's the war goal. Simply going to declare. Not going to call my friends in because I don't need them. And we're going to give the tanks their orders. Forward, gentlemen. Let's start the butchery. Ow. That's a lot of red bubbles. All right, block off the channel. Obviously, block off the channel and stay away from the UK shipping lanes. Yes. Yeah, so all in all, this is just the absolute destruction of Poland. They've lost 102,000 men. I've lost 2,000 men. There goes Warsaw. It's just the armor. The armor is just too much for them to deal with. It's over. This is something they're not going to bounce back from. I think we've taken virtually every victory point of consequence in the area. Poland is 86% towards capitulation, 200,000 casualties, and it's been 12 days. And there goes Poland. A bunch of guns, some equipment. Bada bing, bada boom. That was relatively easy. Now we'll get everyone over to the Netherlands and have a jolly good fun time over there. Ah, some sweet Polish gold. Thank you. Let's start getting rid of the Dutch. This should be really easy. Simply drive to places like Rotterdam, The Hague. You head to Amsterdam, and then this tank, Groningen-Leeuwarden, and it's basically over. From day one, it's over. Yeah, look at them fold like a cheap suit. The cheapest suit. Look at them go. There goes the Netherlands. All right, let's move up to the Belgians. So armor up to the front, and we'll quickly hit anything between Kortrijk, Brussels, Namen, and Luik. So this entire area here, Liège, Namur, Brussels, Kortrijk. Should knock them out, and it opens up the way to northern France, where we can simply punch on through. All right, as for occupation, we're squatting on some Polish land. I'm going to turn Poland into harsh quotas. That gives me more of their factories. I don't have any compliance anyway. They're going to hate me no matter what I do. So might as well keep them firmly locked under my boot and producing for me. Let's take out the Belgians. Should be easy peasy. There goes Belgium. With Belgium gone, front line here looks a mess. Let's quickly adjust. We'll declare war on Luxembourg and we'll get the armor in position. We're basically outside Paris. Let's get the southern Paris. There goes Paris. Vive Paris. Goodbye, Paris. They're really putting up a lot of divisions here, trying to prevent me from taking the port. And it, annoyingly, it seems to be working. Oh, they're just getting too many divisions out via sea because I'm not able to take Cherbourg. I ran tanks up, but I ran them up without proper supply lines, which is on me. Terrible mistake. So I'm going to open this up quickly. Just get a little bit of supply in so my troops can get supply so I can actually win and fight and win. And simply declare this war as well. Should be easy peasy because they fold once again like a cheap suit. A lot of cheap suit in Europe. All right, I'll just take them as a puppet. Iceland declares neutrality. French equipment seized. Huzzah. The French are gone. I'll establish Vichy France and kill off all remaining pockets in the area. Get these units captured. All right, so a couple more casualties in and bada bing, bada boom. It's dunzos. I'm not going to establish the puppet. I'd rather occupy it myself. I do have very high compliance. Might as well hold on to the territory. It does look like the subs are actually performing now. Once I got past the UK's radar coverage, they haven't really found more of my submarines, which is great because it's really annoying. We're now going to spend about a year and a half both prepping for Barbarossa as well as figuring out how to get Italy in the war. They're not willing to join the war, and how to protect Italy from itself. Well, Italy's gone to war with Yugoslavia. Kind of forgot about it. Might be an opportunity to quickly rush my tanks down and get a little bit of combat in, get their experience back up. Huh. Yugoslavia capped and never joined the faction. That's the dumbest thing I've seen in a while. Well, in that case, I'll be puppeting some land in the area. Not much else I can do. Alright, so that ends up with a German Yugoslavia that has a little bit of resources, and I have North Slovenia because of course I have North Slovenia. Gotta get something for my efforts here. Anyway, we'll take out Norway as well while we're in the vicinity. I have troops here training. Oops, I don't want Kiesling. Kiesling can really go fuck himself, respectfully, of course. And we'll see if we can get some landings in. I do just realize that I forgot to wait for organization on these guys, and they don't have fuel, and I don't really want to launch that naval invasion now. Why am I like this? Move up more infantry and simply crush the Norwegians. I have no doubt that will crush the Norwegians here. Just a matter of getting them defeated before too many allied forces arrive. It would be very annoying if the allies managed to bring in a bunch of troops. Alright, landing secured. And with the fall of Norway, that is this source of resources secured as well. I'll keep one army guarding its ports. I guess as far as the war is concerned, it's going well. I haven't sea lined, so for those of you wondering, Peter Steele, why are you not doing sea line? You did that before. They have like 100,000. No, they actually don't. I could, if I really wanted to. I'm gonna start planning a naval. No. This is just temporary. I gotta keep an eye out on that though, because if I can land, that's gonna be hilarious. I can demand Sweden access to their resources, and they should be likely to give them to us. Maybe if I can get my hands on those. We should be able to hit autarky. It's gonna give us all the tungsten we need to hit autarky in 1940. Yeah, the Royal Navy's back. Supremacy's way too high for me to ever invade that. All right, Sweden, what's it gonna be? Oh, it's Bessarabia, I don't care. Yes, Sweden accepts her deal. Okay, that is glorious. That means I just need to get down to autarky and fix my economy, so I wouldn't be in a desperate spot when I'm trying to invade the Soviets. That's glorious. Okay, so we'll just seize foreign industries, do autarky, and then work our way down to Totaler Krieg. Good, but I do... Italy wants in now, so... I do think it's time to call upon the Italians. Do I want to ship troops in? Do I want to bail Italy out? My gut says no. But Italy does probably need our help. So I'm leaving some mountaineers in the area. Oh, this division's fucked. That's on me. It arrived relative. Okay, so it got more experience. I was gonna lose experience once it fills back up with manpower. But I now have a force here to defend Sardinia and Corsica if I have to. I have a force down there to defend Sicily if and when I have to. Let's call Italy in. I'm gonna watch North Africa disappear most likely, but so be it. Oh, I guess it's over for North Africa either way. Oh, there goes like half the Italian... Oh, no, not half, but a good chunk of the Italian fleet is probably gonna get fucked up. Never trust Mussolini to do anything useful. And it's done! Autarky achieved, my economy saved, Wirtschaftswunder. So the economy is no longer shit and at risk of total collapse if I fuck it up. Speaking of fucking it up, Tripoli's gone. I've decided to commit like 12 divisions to hold Benghazi, Tobruk, and like this little stretch of desert here. Alright, Italy's done the thing and I completely forgot about Italy doing the thing. They've gone in on Greece. I'm out of position, but I'll bring my mountaineers in. We'll see if we can quickly overrun Greece. At least the mountaineers are functional. They're tearing through this in no time at all. With Cass up, this is gonna be over in a jiffy. Alright, at least the mountaineers are earning their stripes after that partially botched invasion of Norway. So they're doing well now. We're gonna lose North Africa. It's not that huge of a deal, I guess. I can always just delete these units. Bit of a shame. Bomb everything and everyone everywhere. Alright, I want to say crisis averted, but I'm too scared to come out and say it. Well, methinks either we're about to have a really bad day, or the Royal Marines have just committed the sin of landing unsupported. So there's a big stack here. Medium tank destroyers, Royal Marines, the works. Hopefully we can contain and destroy them before they can get back up in, because that would be a nice blow to the UK's industry if we can kill those units off. Yeah, that stack's gone. Alright, we're about to find out just how well we'll glue. War with the USSR. I'll take the top option, 3 units, and I'll delete the units because I don't want the units. Alright, we're gonna declare war. Bada bing, bada boom. Not gonna call my allies in. The Finnish are gonna come in though. We'll start the butchery. We'll head down to Lvov here. The goal being to create an encirclement in this general area using the armor here. I do think we'll get our first little encirclement in here. We've made it to Venezia. From Venezia, I would like to rush down to Odessa. Big risk doing that, but if we can do that, it basically encircles an entire extra section of the Soviet front. It's probably too big of a risk, so I'm gonna be a little more sensible about it. We'll try smaller pockets. Yeah, I respect your balls, Donuts, but you're picking fights that you probably shouldn't be. Please don't lose my fleet to this. Well, fleet. My ramshackle collection of submarines. They've done well so far, so please don't lose them. That's another 18 divisions stuck on that tile, about to disappear. 3.5 million casualties in 22 days. This is clearly a problem for the Soviet Union. We've reached Ackerman, and that creates another little pocket here. Yep, that's another pocket. Pocket here, pocket there, little pockets everywhere. No! I just saw one of my elite tanks explode. They'd pushed into this tile, and then before they could be relieved, they immediately hit 0 org the instant this unit walked up behind them to finish an encirclement. Oh, Stalin, now you've done it. You've pissed me off now, sir. Now you've pissed me off, and now I have to respond. I mean, in the grand scheme of things, yes, they've killed 174,000 of my men. A great portion of that was that one division that just popped. I've killed 5 million of his. His army's down to 170 divisions. Let's take a trip to Kyiv while I'm here. I wonder if the Soviets have figured out the play yet. As soon as I've finished this bit of cutting up north, I've made it to Vitebsk, set up on the Vitebsk gate in Mogilev. I'll run from Mogilev down to Gomel, and I'll run up to Chernigov and Gomel from the south of my armor, and basically try to trap all of Army Group Center. And Finland's out. Yes! That is the entirety of Soviet Army Group Center encircled, and I'm gonna move the infantry up to destroy it, because I am not doing that on my own without infantry support. It's so stupid. You know what they say? If it looks stupid and it works, it is definitely not stupid. Oh man, I'm already in Smolensk here, so methinks the Soviets are not long for this world. I'll try to go up north towards the Baltic countries now. Now, in reality, I could probably battle plant the victory now, but I would like to clean that up and then see what the situation is. Never get too overconfident. Speaking of overconfident, how is this? Yeah, look at what they're stacking here. These are all taking 36% attrition. It's just massive. This is hurting them so much, and we're basically spending 12 divisions worth of mechanized units to tie down an inordinate amount of equipment. Oh, that is, the Baltics secured. The pocket is about to be condensed. They're up to 6 million casualties in the first months of the war. Haven't really been able to repel me anywhere. I was told this is the actual live build I'm supposed to be using, unlike previously where I was using, I don't know, a bugged build. It still feels like I'm winning relatively easily. I'll take the win though. And that is this. Another bit of the pocket closed. More casualties, more casualties. Well, apparently Leningrad's easy enough. There's nobody home. This is the last of the pockets being condensed. Voronezh, Dnipropetrovsk, Zaporozhye. Yeah, I guess Stalingrad, here we come. So at this point, I've taken Leningrad. Spearhead's headed to Moscow pretty much unopposed. So it's just me driving a couple of tanks up along a railway. And I'm within spitting distance of Stalingrad, just one good tank push away from that. Unless the Allies pull something out of a hat, I think it's Jover for Joe. Outside of Moscow, we have... Where's the mission? Where's the mission? I have 53 days, so we'll take Moscow and we'll get these tanks trucking to Stalingrad. That is the fall of Stalingrad. Did they literally just... They literally just drove there. Well, if they're gonna do that, might as well head down here to Astrakhan, and then we'll just sort things out. This is a bit embarrassing. I think we have succeeded in Führer Directive 21. The German armed forces have taken Russia in a rapid campaign. I've taken Kiev, Stalingrad, Leningrad, and Moscow within the timers set forth. Oh, the Swiss have taken my gold? They will pay. Oh, they've broken it again? Oh, they've broken our other trade agreement as well. So that hurts our economy. Oh, it happened. It happened again. That's 3 tanks I encircled in my hubris. I don't want to lose them. They're 3 veterans, extremely experienced veterans with medals for days. Canadian Dragon, Gunner Jurgen, and Alexandros. I will attempt to get you out. If the armor can punch north, and then the infantry can punch south, maybe they can meet in the middle. Come on, come on, come on, come on, come on, come on. Go, 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 go. You go there. Just win. So, okay, they're out. Okay, we're running these guys back to Parkham in Rostov for all I care. Oh, that's the invasion of Sicily. Okay, this might actually do something. Also, these guys have a hilarious outfit. Love it. Okay, so this might actually do something. If they take Messina, though, these tanks are sort of stuck, so let's get ready to use them in one big push. We'll use them to swing into Catania if they lose that port, and then clean up whatever lands. I should have the advantage. I have air power up overhead, and we'll bring in... should bring in some casts as well. I could probably deploy a little more casts. Actually, no, I'm very short on casts, in which case I'll bring some from the Eastern Front. Let's take the port. Let's see if I can untake the port. Oh yeah, we can certainly untake the port. Japan has declared war on the Philippines. That means the US is going to come, and the invasion of Sicily thrown back. The US is in the Allies now, so... Whew. All right, so the party's all here. Britain just pulled Vichy in, and Japan just... Yeah, got the Americans involved. It's December 1941, and now the party can truly start. Unfortunately for Joe over here, it's probably too little too late. We are well on our way to the end of the Soviet Union. 8.4 million casualties. Just gotta keep an eye out. Now with Vichy open, that means there might be naval invasions along the southern coast of France, so I'm gonna move a little bit of armor to the south of France. I'll leave a little bit of armor in the north of France, and I have a little bit of armor in Italy. I'm ready to repel, well, I hope I'm ready to repel the naval invasions that are gonna come my way. And we're still holding on to North Africa. But you know what the best part of this whole thing is? Look at how Italian East Africa is holding out. Look at these absolute Chads holding on to Addis Ababa. They are still here fighting for their lives. For reasons unknown, Japan has just gone in on the Soviet Union. Why? It's January 42. They must detect weakness. Well, that's the final nail then. Oh boy. We sunk our first aircraft carrier using nothing but air. Well, happy days. Let's see. If I press this button, I get a new name, more support and stability, yada, yada, yada. Berlin becomes Germania. I get my cores. I get Poznan, Katowice, Südjutland, and North Slovenia. I wonder if I would have also gotten cores on like South Slovenia. Oh, that's just Ljubljana. Well, let's press the button and get my cores. Ah, a nice new. That's an ominous new color. Bunch of new cores. Well established. Okay. I'm also building out the Navy, so I'm upgrading the fire controls on my battleships. Of course, building more submarines and then heavy cruisers and destroyers to round out the bunch. But as soon as the Soviets fall, we're gonna have to pivot to the Allies. I do want a D-Day. I'm not going to America, but I'm going to Britain, and I'm going to deal with Churchill. Come on. Come on. It's over. 100% towards capitulation. Sweet baby Jesus. Oh, it's done. Oh, wow, they still had a lot of stuff. I just killed their divisions faster than I could deploy them, I guess. Victory at last. I have all the points, so I'm just gonna take everything and call it a day. There we go. Complete and total victory on the continent. I'll just rush some troops like over there to hold back the Dominion of India, but other than that, I can now fully focus on the Allies. If we're gonna sea line, I'm sure you can tell this is going to be a problem. I'm gonna figure out what I need to land near Hull, throw my Marines at it, follow up with the armor, follow up with infantry, and have a glorious sea line, and then we can call it a victory. I'm gonna try and consider sneaking a little bit of my armor over the North Africa, so we can have a little campaign here while I'm trying to do the build up for the inevitable Operation Sea Line now. It would appear FDR decided to leave the Allies. He's still at war with all of us, but he's decided to leave the Allies. Too little, too late. That's a very small UK-led D-Day. Yeah, with the Americans out of the Allies, this is gonna be much easier to invade. They still have military access, obviously, but without faction mechanics helping them out, I doubt they'll be able to properly coordinate the defense, or definitely not the invasion. The South American Defense League, and then the Nicaragua Coalition. What the hell's going on? My troops are landing, and I am somewhat tempted to allow them to get a port and then kill them all and then naval invade them. I don't even want to cross the Atlantic. Honestly, I don't want to go and fight America. It's going to be a giant pain in the ass. I'm just going to sea line, call it a day. I'm just going to allow them to land here. The more forces they land here, I can take out on my own terms, the better. Yeah, they can't stand up to my tanks. So they can't fully pierce me, and I can fully pierce them, so I win. All right, by leveraging all of the air in the area and then combining my fleet with a captured Soviet fleet, I have achieved naval supremacy over the, what is this, the North Sea. I'm going to try and hit them around Hull. I'm using my armor to do it. Yes, hate me in the comments later. Mostly because they don't really have an amphibious penalty at the moment, because I've stacked this thing with, what are we looking here? These amphibious tractors, Amtraks. I'm hoping that'll work. And then for the north, I'm using a couple of mountaineers to hit the mountain tile here, then push into Newcastle. The idea is land, establish a beachhead, funnel in the rest of, either the rest of my armor or just a bunch of infantry to hold the line while the armor goes to work, and of course capture an airfield so I can get my business concluded. Now that we do have naval superiority, let's launch this thing and see what happens. As for North Africa, I had a lot of fun with these tanks. Basically, just go wherever the hell they want, just drive and destroy everything. Funnily enough, after leaving the Allies, the US is back in, so I'd like to get my business in the UK concluded before all of those American troops rush back in. Hey, Nottingham. Isn't that where Warhammer World is? I need to visit. Anyway, port is seized. I had an army earmarked for this. Bring them in as well. And the mountaineers up north. And there goes London. Huzzah! The Kingdom of Greece has capitulated. Okay. Oh, and the United Kingdom has capitulated. They didn't really have all that much left, did they? Anyway, with the defeat of Britain, I think we have what we set out to do. We have achieved most, if not all, of our war goals. Italians are still here. Oh, I love that. Anyway, with that, we have ended a proper run through Sheep's AI mod. This is all it had to throw at me. Well, I think we've succeeded. That's the end of this one. I know. The US is still there. I'm not going there. We've all been there. This is where we just declare victory and ignore everything else. I hope you guys at least enjoyed this video. I hope you guys want to check out the mod as well. It's really good. And if you're looking for a desk pad, hit that link down below. Anyway, this has been me, and I hope to see you guys in the next video. Goodbye.